So we got injuries. I'm gonna talk about some guys coming back, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit. We talked about the live on Tuesday, $2 Tuesdays. I talked about this on the live. The reason the Lions ain't won the Super Bowl, but you got Josh Paschal, whose windows to return for window practice. His window opens up, practice window, to see if he can return. I think he got 4 weeks. Miles Frazier, same window open up. He returned to practice. Um, and maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't make any deals. I'll do some shorts about what Dan Campbell said about it. For the most part, it doesn't surprise me. This is who Detroit is. They don't go for it. I mean, outside of the Wings and the Tigers with some of the moves they made, for that playoff World Series team, but outside of Mike Ilitch, that's why it was such a shock when the Pistons got Rasheed Wallace. Everybody, that was a shock to everybody because the Pistons, Detroit teams necessarily don't make those moves, right? But but for the most part, we knew it, and they knew they gonna get some guys back. Josh Paschal. I mean, he ain't never healthy. Miles Frazier, he was a guy that was supposed to compete for a center and a guard position. They expect to get DJ Reed back at some point. They slow stroking it, no diddy, with Kirby Joseph. So allow him to get healthy and buy some time there. Who else we got? Malcolm Rodrigo just came back, give him some depth there. It's just a number. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, number of guys that they can expect back. But, is it really going to make Miles Frazier really going to make a difference? Most likely not in year one. Is Josh Paschal most likely going to make a difference? I think he will. He's really good at stopping the run and penetrating and getting the backfield. Not great at sacks, but his penetration is good. And really, they're going to have to ride the coattails of that defense to win a championship. I hear people saying that, John Morton, the yardage, and John Morton needs to get correct. John Morton needs to dumb it down. That's my opinion on it. Get creative in your run scheme. Plan to run the ball 20 to 50 times a game. Leg off, throw it 10 to 15 times, mostly off the play action, and let that defense eat. That's it. That would be my recipe. You know what I'm saying? If you can't run block, you can't protect the quarterback then. It's more than likely. So that would be my remedy. All that cute shit, and I would be prepared to put a hat on the hat, go sign me a fullback, fire my 2 tight ends up. I'll be running out of spread, running out of heavy, running under center, running in shotgun. That's what I would be doing. But, ultimately, ultimately that's on them. So, but the reason they ain't win a Super Bowl is shit like this. Davenport, Anzarike, Makai Wingo, F.A. Melifanu, Ennis Rackstraw. Those are the reasons they don't win Super Bowls. Had they stay healthy, guess what? Your cap space, you would need DJ Reed. You would need DJ Reader. You would have been able to rent Carlton Davis and it'd have been good. But their drafting ability isn't that we're missing out on talented players. We're drafting injury prone players. I mean, Josh Paschal, for God's sakes, was a cancer survivor. It's no disrespect to him. He was a cancer survivor. That is crazy. My bad to stop. But yeah, that's the reason they don't win Super Bowl. They didn't win the Super Bowl because of the injuries. That's why. All those injuries they had, had Rackstraw stepped in, had Paschal did his job, had Anzarike did his job, you win the Super Bowl. And save a lot of money in the process doing it. I mean, think about even the transition to offensive line over the years. You drafted Manu Giovanni to be the left tackle. You drafted Corey Sorsdale to play inside. You drafted Miles Frazier to play across the line. You drafted Tate Ratledge. You drafted Christian Mahogany. I mean, they've been drafting offensive line a long time. You talking about Sonoy Vaki is another guy, a special teams guy that they had plans for. He played safety and running back in college. He ain't been able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So even a lot of the project guys that they pick, Manu Giovanni, Corey Soares, I don't even sure if he's still on the roster. Giovanni, Sorsdale, Vacky, Isaac Tesla, they simply haven't panned out. And a lot of times they gave up significant capital to get these guys. And it's just a common theme once you look across the board, where they was drafted or, Makai Wingo, injured, defensive line, Anzarike, injured, defensive line, and always injured. Josh Paschal, injured, defensive line. Ennis Rackstraw, often injured. Terrion Arnold, he stayed injured too. He just know how to play through some pain. You know what I'm saying? Think about your two safeties that was injured coming into this season. They was injured this season, but we ain't going to add them to the list. Manu Giovanni, he make one start versus Cincinnati. He injured. Sonoy Vacky, we ain't barely seen him on the field. He stayed injured the last 2 seasons. That's 6 players that I'm counting right now. Ennis Rackstraw, did I name him too? I think I named him, so we can't double name him. I don't want to double name him. Miles Frazier came in the game injured. So, we just consistently keep talking about these guys that's constantly injured. It's crazy. This is why you haven't won a Super Bowl. It's not because you didn't get a big name free agent. It ain't just because of the quarterback. It's because the injuries. Had half those guys did their job. And it wasn't like they didn't do their job because they were missed draft picks. They were capable of doing their job. It's the reason why F.A. Melifano not here no more, injured. And when you bring this juju on the team with these bad injuries, all right? You bring them on the team, it becomes contagious. Guys start getting injured who you normally don't see get injured. It becomes infectious. That's why they haven't won a Super Bowl. Every year it's the same thing. Bringing Davenport back, waiting on Davenport. Come on. That's like waiting on an ant to come bring an RV for y'all to live in while y'all camping. The ant ain't gonna drag no RV. At some point, they gotta stop putting their faith. In injury-prone players. They have to say no. And somebody told me Ennis Rackstraw had a major injury in college. It's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Are y'all purposely picking? And they are. Brad Holmes did that article. I feel bad for guys who got injured because I got injured. Take that bitch ass shit somewhere else. And I mean that. I don't excuse my French. I mean it. Take that sympathizing shit somewhere else, man. Draft people who durable. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. Everything inside the link tree. Peace.